Hello everyone, my name is Don and it's morphing time! I'm doing the arm gestures, but I'm trying not to knock over a vase, so let me stop doing that. Today we are going to look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Ah yes, a new Power Rangers game in 2025. Well, technically it was released in December, but still, new Power Rangers game. And Digital Eclipse fixed it, it's no longer broken, thank God. Anyway, you got what's supposed to be 5 Rangers on screen. I forgot I'd beaten this game before the playthrough. Anyway, you got Kimberly, Billy, Jason, you got Tommy, who's not supposed to be here yet, Trini, and Zach. Now the Rangers don't have too many differences between each other than animation. They all seem to have the same speed, the same amount of strength, and similar reach with their combos. The only difference I notice is when it comes to the Zord stages in Pink Ranger. Since she's got the Pterodactyl Zord, she can fly. Everybody else is stuck to the ground. It's over, Rita. It's too late for you to escape. Oh boy, I gotta get my Rita voice ready for this one.
Nonsense! I have all the time in the world!
Oh man, that was terrible. But then again, it's Robo Rita, so I reckon she would sound a bit more... Yeah, there's no way we're letting that happen.
Buddies! Deal with him while I conjure my...
Yeah, I can't do that voice for too long. Anyway, we're in the action. Rita's trying to do some time nonsense like she's Shredder from Turtles in Time. But she's not trying to send us back in time. She's gonna send herself back in time. Oh... That is something that Shredder did not think about. Anyway, here's just kind of an automatic scene. You're still beating up putties, but you're supposed to let the thing go off.
My time portal is complete! See you later, Power Rangers, and a whole lot earlier.
After her, let's move! Wait, we can't follow her without risking a massive paradox. We have to hope that the original team can defeat both Ritas. She's already causing a paradox, though. Why not just go back anyway? Alpha, I am sensing a major disturbance in the space-time continuum. This time stream is under attack. Teleport us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No, Zordon, not that! Not teenagers! Ay, ay, ay!
Yeah, the teenagers. Zordon said he chose us to save the planet from that sorceress Rita. I say we do it. Are you serious? Power Morphers? Megazords? We were talking to a giant floating head. I'm just interested in learning more about that fully sentient functional automaton. Oh yeah, Billy, Poindexter, all those fancy words. Actually no, for the longest time Billy was my favorite Power Ranger just because he had the trident. And then Zach is my second favorite, of course, because he's got that charisma. And then I like the Yellow Ranger more than the Pink Ranger. And then fourth is Pink Ranger. And then I don't really like Jason that much. I don't know. There's something about Jason. In fact, I actually like the second Red Ranger more. What was his name? Rocky? I like him more than Jason. And then Tommy came along and I'm like, yeah, he's pretty much upstaging everybody now. But here's the gameplay of Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. It's a beat-em-up in the similar style to Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, but there are a couple of gameplay styles thrown in there too. For variety's sake, every few levels the Rangers will get into their Megazords and the game will turn into this arm-rail shooter kind of like Space Harrier. Except one of the 5 or 6 Rangers flies in the air and the other 4 or 5 are on the ground, so the other characters are basically sin and punishment mode. Pick Kimberly for the rail stages. I mean, what? No, seriously, pick Kimberly. But the beat 'em up sections are going to be the bulk of the game. You pick a ranger and you fight with them. From a technical standpoint, the rangers don't have stats, so let's say Zach here, he controls and kind of fights the same as Jason or Billy, except with a couple of different animations. The only difference between the characters in the beat 'em up sections is the character holding an axe for their combo ender, or are they holding a spear or a sword. There are also some cosmetic differences with the special screen nukes, but that's about it. There's no real speedster or jack of all trades or powerhouse character or long reach character, it's just the Power Rangers and their Power Ranger-ness. It does make every character useful, but at the same time it also makes them kind of the same. Not to mention that the older Power Rangers games had different statistics for the characters. Like I remember in the movie game, for example, that Billy used to like flailing in the air like an idiot, and he could do all these multi-hit combos. Which this game does not do. It's a very basic beat 'em up in that regard, which I don't mind it. It makes the characters, even though they don't pop out, it makes them useful. Like nobody's really too much different than the other. Like, let's face it, in Shredder's Revenge, I don't really play as Donatello that much. He is too slow. Something's in our time stream that doesn't belong here. What could it be? Rangers, find this chronological anomaly and then report back. May the power protect you. Why, thank you, Zordon. Floating head thing. Freaking Zordon. Zordon was a pretty important character for the early Power Rangers show. Not just Mighty Morphin, but I think all the way up until In Space or Lost Galaxy is either one of those two. Lost Galaxy I wasn't too much of a big fan on. Love the theme song though. Power Rangers Galaxy. And In Space, I think that was my favorite Power Rangers show in my opinion. Anyway, we found Miss Kaplan. Kind of like in Shredder's Revenge, there are going to be secrets scattered throughout the stages. And what I just picked up right there is a power surge thing. I don't know what you describe it, but it's basically the Power Rangers logo. Whenever you pick those up, you go into super mode. This will double your movement and attack speeds, and you won't be able to get knocked over from an attack. You are basically God. Dude, Zach is on crack. Look at this guy. Oh, it wore out. Power mode wears out kind of quickly in this game. The controls in this game might take a bit of getting used to, and that's mainly due to the rising uppercut attack. You press up in the attack button, which makes sense for a two-dimensional platformer or brawler, not so much a beat 'em up like this. So what would happen sometimes is me trying to get into position so I can hit the enemy first, but oops, I was holding the up button too long and I pressed the attack button and I just fly into the air. I don't like the look of this guy. Must be one of Rita's little helpers. Ah, there you are, right on time. Not even sure if that's Goldar's actual voice. Putties, prepare the time disruptor and get rid of these pests. So yeah, that's usually what will happen sometimes is I hold the attack button for too long and I press the square button and I just overshoot my opponents. Just change the uppercut to X and square, please. Anyway, here's the time disruptor. Every now and then a putty soldier will throw out these crystals, and if you don't destroy the crystals in time, this will happen. Every now and then a putty soldier will throw out these crystals, and if you don't destroy the crystals, this will happen. Have I been here before? The stage will rewind itself back to when the crystal first appears, only this time with reduced health. In the initial release of this game, pre-patch, it was damn near impossible to take the time disruptors out in one go. It's mainly because the hitbox on the thing was so janky and unresponsive, it's just like hitting air, that was what you were doing. But they have long since fixed it, along with other things in this game to make it more playable. What the heck was that? This is just a hypothesis based on a quick observation, but the chronological flux generated by this device can generate a localized temporal reversal. Does anybody here speak Billy? He said this machine can reverse the flow of time. Oh, okay. Alpha says it. Thanks, Alpha, you dick. That was Goldar, one of Rita's generals. Before he ran for the rooftops, Goldar called this thing a time disruptor. What if that's not the only one? Follow him and see what more you can learn. Good luck, Rangers. Alright, and here's the world map of Angel Grove, California. But first, let's go to the juice bar. Let's switch characters to Oh, not Jason. I don't want to be Jason yet. You know, I've seen you kids training and I gotta say, you've got some impressive skills. Thanks, Ernie. Jason's a great karate instructor. And a patient one. I appreciate the lesson, but honestly, I'm not sure if I have what it takes. Well, I've seen your fighting style in the movie game on Super Nintendo. It's, you can handle yourself at least. May fight like a dying cat on heroin, but you can fight at least. Broken Skull! I love the Balkan Skull theme. That is the best music you can use for a meme. Anyway, let's take to the streets with Billy, who does not have his unique fighting style from the older games, unfortunately. Kinda sad about that. Those are some big birds. They're feathered, but I don't think they're friends. Rangers, this energy signature confirms these creatures are not from our timeline. We'll stop them before they can cause trouble. Here are the Tengu enemies that came from a later season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and probably even the movie too. And these guys are annoying! They certainly take advantage of their flight skills because they will fly and they will try and dive bomb you and shoot projectiles at you, and you're dealing with all the other putty soldiers and grounded enemies, and they'll just stay in the air and try to assault you from the air, and it sucks. And that's usually where the rising uppercut comes into play, and sometimes I can get it to work just fine. Other times, not so much. Which again, I want to remap the controls, because up and attack is not cutting it. Another thing about the Tengu, or I guess it's Tenga, as it's spelled, they have a lot of health for something that can fly into the air. They are chunky even. Very chunky chickens indeed. Speaking of chunky chicken, chunky fried chicken, I'm surprised nobody got sued. But I guess if we're talking about chicken, the more fat there is on it, the more unhealthy it is. And greasy. Just like the actual KFC. Ugh, I cannot even eat KFC, it's kind of disgusting. Popeyes is way better. Anyway, we just picked up a paper lamp. There are going to be a lot of those mementos just scattered throughout the stages. So if you see something suspicious, punch it in its face, you might find something. I think I talked about punching something in its face. Oh yeah, the time disruptor and all these putties. Get out of here! Rangers, Billy is right. These devices can warp time, but I need more data to understand how they work. My hypothesis was correct. Alpha, we will endeavor to retrieve more statistical information for your analysis. Blech. So we get to smash more of Rita's stuff? Why, hell yeah we do. Let's get this power surge and kick ass. Dude, we need some hyperactive music for this shit. Billy's going insane. Calm down, Billy. Ow. I still got hit by the explosive barrel that didn't even explode on me. Okay, that was strange. The super mode lasted a bit longer there. Or maybe that was just me, I don't know. Or maybe how long the super mode is depends on what character you're playing. Maybe there is a nuance here. Or maybe I'm just not paying attention, I don't know.
You're out of time.
The voice actors in this game are pretty great. They do a good job of capturing the feel of the original Power Rangers cast. It probably would have been awkward to get the original Power Rangers back but not have Tui Trang or Jason David Frank reprise the roles since they have passed away, so yeah, I like that they switched everybody up. The new voices are great. Even if most of the line deliveries are just one-liners, they're pretty great one-liners. Wait, that was also kind of the show too. That was a whole bunch of one-liners in the show. Oh, Power Rangers, never change. Actually, please do change, because there's a long stint of Power Rangers shows where everything just felt the same. Lost Galaxy was just in space but 10 times worse. Turbo, what the hell was Turbo? And Dino Thunder, or is it Dino Fury? I don't know. Everything was like either ninjas, samurais, or Dino. Like Power Rangers, Cosmic Fury, I think it was. It's just another space show. It's just another space show. Like, can we do something different, like, I don't know, something that takes place in the past, or maybe even something along the lines of a Time Force or a Lightspeed Rescue? Oh boy, Lightspeed Rescue. That one is actually underrated. Crappy N64 game though. Lightspeed Rescue on the Nintendo 64 was terrible, but the show itself was pretty badass back in the day. And then there was the movie that was pretty great. Not the 1995 one, even though that one was good too, but the 2017 Power Rangers movie. I actually like that one. It was bordering on edgy TMNT territory, like the Michael Bay movies, but at least it was fun to watch. Back off, Fangface. The good guys are here. Oh, that's subjective. Get off our planet. Because we're the Power Rangers, and we're not gonna back down. Yeah! Alright, so here's Goldar, who is the first boss of the game, and... well, he's the first boss of the game, so he's not that hard. But let this be a sign of things to come, because bosses in this game are pretty cheap. And I mean extremely cheap. We're gonna see later on with a certain ranger, who is Jade. More like Jaded, but we'll get to him. Anyway, for Goldar, it's as simple as punching him in the face. Once you punch him enough times, he'll summon his putty minions to do the dirty work, and he just flies in the air. Once you defeat those putties, he'll come back down and he's vulnerable again. Now, a lot of Goldar's attacks are really just one-hit combos, and they'll knock you down, and that's really about it. He doesn't do that much damage. He's pretty easy to dodge around too. So how dodging works in this game is pretty much one-for-one on par with Shredder's Revenge. You just roll to the left or right and you'll gain iframes. Invincibility frames, if you will. That's indicated by whenever the enemy's trying to punch you in the cartwheel animation, there's a little spark to give away, hey, you're in dodge mode. The enemy's not gonna hit you, you're fine. And you can do your moves as you so well please. Now, I mentioned before that there's a Ranger boss fight later down the road. He has the same dodge move as you, and he's cheap about it. He will spam that shit all day. Don't worry, we'll see his antics in part 4 or 5. I think it's part 5.
Ugh, I always have to do everything myself. Magic wand, make my Goldar grow.
I mean, you're not really doing it yourself. Goldar's still doing the work. He's just magically enhanced now. Anyway, time for a Goldar battle, which is gonna be a special stage of sorts. But first, let me change characters. Let's pick Trini. Now, I know I said to pick Kimberly for the Mode 7 stages, or rather Super Scalar stages because of the graphic style, but I wanted to pick Trini so that I can show off things on the ground. You and your weapons are no match for me! I don't know why I sound like Triple H there. Okay, let's show Goldar some real dinosaur power. Alright, so these special stages are a mishmash between Space Harrier, if you're Kimberly that is because she flies in the air, and everybody else is kind of like Sin and Punishment except way more stripped down and basic. I mean, you do get blasters at least. But you do not have a dodge feature in these stages. Your only method of dodging is moving left to right or jumping. That's really about it. You do get weapons though. You get double blasters like in Star Fox. You also get like these Seeker missiles, which honestly are kind of not that good in my opinion. I just go for the double blasters. That way you're still shooting with double the firepower and you're not just holding on for dear life trying to lock on and not firing at anything and getting shot at in the process. Because you do have to hold the button down for the lock on to actually work with the missiles. Oh, another double.
Yes.
Now, Kim's Pterodactyl Zord is pretty much the easy mode when it comes to these stages, and I do recommend playing as her. Mainly because you won't get bombarded as much when it comes to everything on screen just aiming at you. I feel like with the other characters it's harder to dodge stuff because there's barely any room to dodge as is on the ground. And there's also the overabundance of flashy effects that distracts you. So many explosions. But if you want my opinion on these stages, I actually like all of them until the Green Ranger, because again, Green Ranger kinda cheats. This harkens back to all those Sega arcade games like the aforementioned Space Harrier, Galaxy Force, Afterburner, Outrun. Love me some outrun. Here I decided to show off the missiles, and they're great for moving targets, don't get me wrong. But if you're looking to keep the pressure up and just stay aggressive, then you want to go with the double lasers. The special weapons do run out after a certain quantity. Just like with the beat-em-up stages, you do have a special move that you can activate by pressing triangle. You can only use your special if the Energizer bar is filled up. I don't remember any mining operations in Angel Grove. Is Goldar hiding underground? Rita's clearly digging for something. Let's find out what it is. It's probably Italian ice. Look. Rita's trying to open her water ice shop and we're just getting in the way of that. The Power Rangers are the true villains here. So here's the quote-unquote mini-boss of this stage. What you have to do is shoot the course. And it does not look like this, but you can actually scroll the screen over. I was just like, the first time I played this, I thought the course would turn around, but no, you have to actually scroll the screen yourself here. So you want to make sure to move around the room in order to shoot all the components. This laser pattern is not too bad. It's only with later cores that the lasers will get a bit more unpredictable, to say the least. Now, can I actually shoot the core from here? Yes, I can. Now here's Great Goldar, Giant Goldar, or whatever his name is, his mutated form. He's a bit tough only because there's so much crap and explosions going on screen that you can't really see yourself when that happens. Or maybe that's a me problem, I don't know. I've always had trouble with games in this style, especially Outrun, even though I love that game. Look, I lose myself, okay? Oh, Jesus. How was I supposed to avoid that? Oh, right, play as Kimberly, that's how. The thing about the grounded characters is wherever you're moving, that's where you're aiming. There's no free aim to this, well, not quite. It's very strict, and even with Kimberly's pterodactyl, it's kinda hard to aim at stuff. You fools cannot win. I can predict your every move. The future is certain. Nobody likes to know it all. You're one to talk, Billy. Let's show him, team. We need Megazord power now. Alright, and here's the third gameplay style, the big showdown with the Megazord. And I do not like this part at all. I really don't. Alright, so the gameplay style is kind of a knockoff of Punch-Out, except it's really kind of boring in my opinion. Which is weird coming from me because I love the Punch-Out games, but this is kind of bare basic. It's really basic. Not only that, but your opponents are just dumb. They don't have strategies, they don't dodge that much, they don't even block. Well, they block with their face, but that's about it. And yeah, Goldar, ironically, is probably the toughest opponent when it comes to these stages, but everybody else, aka the two other opponents in this style, are cake. You can press left to dodge left and right to dodge right. It's really just a dumbed down Punch-Out. That's it. Goldar, you're not even doing anything, you just keep running into my fists. You're the picture definition of getting ran over by a parked car, man. Anyway, here's the power sword. We have to punch him enough times in order to activate it. The sword will fall from the heavens. For some reason, I think that's how it was in the show. It just fell from the sky. And then they slice him up. Sweet! That rank guess is not gonna last long.
You fool! That Goldar plan was doomed to fail! How dare you! You have no right to speak to me like this! You forget yourself. I am you, but wiser and perfected. And unlike you, I know how to destroy the Power Rangers forever. Tell me more.
Oh, it'll be a miracle if I make it through this playthrough without losing my voice. God, that Rita voice is something else.
What an unnerving disturbance yesterday. I'm glad no one was hurt. Most of all me.
We're sure glad to see you're okay, Mr. Kaplan.
Thank you, William. I hope you and your friends never find yourselves in that kind of danger. I'm just glad we didn't have to cancel classes. The students would have been so disappointed.
No, they wouldn't.
Let's see what Ernie has to say. How about those Power Rangers, huh? Cosmic Protectors? Keeping Angel Grove safe? How cool is that?
They're not so tough.
Just goofballs doing cartwheels in colorful outfits.
I doubt you'd be brave enough to say that if they were here right now.
But they're not, are they? No, they're hiding, so nobody finds out they're frauds.
You know, Boke, you sure talk big, but you sound really small. I'm not sure if that was a burn or not.
I figure Angel Grove will throw a parade for me since I saved the city.
I don't remember you doing that.
That's because you fainted. When I told that big gold guy to scram, he took off.
Sure you did. Ha! That will learn him. Honestly, I wish we could play as Bulk and Skull. They don't even have to be Rangers, just base Bulk and Skull beating up bad guys. In fact, weren't they like offshoot Rangers in the comic books, like the Orange Ranger and the Purple Ranger or some crap like that? I don't know, but that would be interesting. Anyway, time to play some arcade games. Or one arcade game for now. It's Nano Pilot. And I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm guessing it's like asteroids or something, but what's cell attack mean? What does that mean? And there's a map, which is more useless than the map in Zelda 1. I don't even know where I'm going here. Oh, okay. Can I hit this guy? Apparently not, because my shots are shit. And the best way I can describe this game is like Asteroids and Space Duel, but it's janky. Okay. Hull breach imminent. How's that? What? Looks like I could take up to 4 hits, which is kind of generous for an arcade game like this. You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of those weird arcade games from San Andreas, GTA. Remember those? You know what? Screw that game. I hate nanopilots. Anyway, stay tuned for part 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Revenge. Or Rewind.